Hi, you're Chandeep at Goodly once again, and in this video I'm going to talk about how do you dynamically expand the columns, especially when you're trying to combine the data from multiple Excel files. Now these could be multiple Excel files, these could be multiple sheets from a single Excel file, or multiple tables just in general. But we'll see that how do you dynamically expand the columns. To be able to clearly understand the problem, let's just run into the problem and then let's just try to solve that up. Alright, so I'm the Excel file. In this Excel file, I have 3 sheets and each of the sheets contain the same structure of the data. The columns are absolutely the same. So sheet number 1 contains the data for 2005, sheet number 2 contains the data for 2006, and sheet number 3 contains the data for 2007. When I'm trying to combine the data of all the 3 sheets, merge it together and bring it together in a single Excel file using Power Query, what will happen is that just in case if I add another column to any of these 3 sheets, the column will not automatically show up in Power Query. Let's just create a query to combine the data first, and let's just kind of take a look at the problem. Okay, so I'm here in a blank Excel workbook and I will try to combine the data from the 3 sheets that I saw earlier. So I'll go to Data tab. In the Data tab, I'll click on Get Data from File from the workbook, and it shows me that Excel file, multiple years. I'm just going to click on Import, and I get to see all the 3 sheets there are in that particular Excel file. Now I don't really want to navigate to a single sheet. I want to work with the entire workbook and combine the data. So I'm just going to click on the folder right here, click on Transform Data, and I land up in Power Query, which is where I can take a look at all the 3 sheets. Alright, so you can see that we have a name column here, we have the data column here. In the data column, we have the 3 tables. These 3 tables are nothing but the individual data of every single sheet and a couple of other columns right here. Now, in order to combine the data, I just really want to work with this particular column which has the data. Right click on this column, remove other columns that I don't need. I will click on Expand and it just shows me all the columns. There are 6 columns, the data structure is the same. I'm just going to click on OK and the data gets combined from all the sheets. Cool enough. Now you can see that one of the problems is that the data header has come in the first row. It should not be in the first row. It should actually be promoted to the header. And I can just click on the Home tab. In the Home tab, I can just click on Use the first row as headers, and that becomes the header. In the Transform tab, I can also detect data type. So select all the columns, detect the data type, and every column has its own data type correctly applied. Now the problem is that since the headers came into the first row, so would have been the case for every single sheet. Now in this column somewhere, you would find the word date, and date cannot be converted to an actual date as a data type. So it kind of shows me an error here, but certainly I don't really want that. So I can just click here and I can get rid of any errors. So remove errors. This data set is good to go. I can click on the Home tab, close and load, and the entire data gets combined, put into my Excel file. Now the problem is if I go back to my Excel file which contained the data, and in one of the 3 sheets, maybe on sheet number 3, I add a new column. So just say new column, and I just write the value A across all the rows of the data, save the Excel file, come back to my query, and if I hit a refresh on the query, I will not really get to see that new column. Now let's just go investigate the reason for that. So I'm just going to click on the multiple years Excel file, the query right here, and let's just start to investigate the steps that we have created. So we were on the source step, we removed the column, so far so good, and then we expanded the data. Now when the data got expanded, the column names, the 6 columns that you had, they got hard coded in the formula. So column 1, comma, column 2, column 3, so on and so forth. Now unless manually you end up writing column 7 here, this is not going to change. Alternatively, what you can also do is you can click on the gear icon, and in the gear icon, maybe you can say that I want to take a look at the addition column that has just got added, which is column number 7. You can also click on load more to see that column. And then only after you check on that particular column, you will get to see the new column that has been added. Now that is a bit of manual work that you'll have to do every single time a new column has been added into the source data set. Now what can we do to our query to just get rid of that manual work, and this should automatically be added into the query and the result should be there in my Excel. Alright, so what I'll do is to be able to get to the answer, I will start to modify my same query and I will get to the solution. So first of all, let's just delete all these steps that we have done and write a slightly different query right from the source step. So when we are on the source step, we can take a look at all the columns along with the data column which contains the data. Now one of the problems with this particular column is that the header is in the first row of the data. It's not really promoted to the header row. What I would want to do is I want to promote the headers before I do any kind of work with this particular data set. Now, if your headers are already promoted, you would not do what I'm just doing as of now. So in the add columns tab, I will come to custom column and I'll write a new formula called table.promote headers, and table.promote headers actually accepts a table as an input. So you can see that it's asking you for a table. for which table should I go and promote the header? So I'm going to say, hey, why don't you promote the header for this table, and for this table, and all of the three tables are there in the data column. I'm just going to write the name of the column data. That is where this formula is going to find three tables and it will promote the headers. I'm just going to close the bracket, say okay, and I again get three tables. Now the difference between these three tables and these three tables is that the headers are not promoted, and here the headers are promoted to the correct place. Good to go. Now let's just kind of delete all the other columns and let's just work with the custom columns. Right click here, remove other columns, and we have all the three tables with us. Now the way generally people combine the data from multiple tables is by clicking on the expand button and then the data gets combined. Now that's not what we're going to do. We're going to create a new step here. In the new step, we're going to use the function called table.combine. So I'm just going to write a function here, table.combine, and it just refers back to the previous step. So remove other columns is nothing but the name of the previous step. If I just kind of go back to the previous step, remove other columns is the step which gives me the entire table. In that entire table, I just have one single column with three tables inside of that. But as of now, this is kind of giving me an error because table.combine is not going to accept a full table. It's going to accept a list, and the list should have multiple tables. So this is not really a list, this is a full table, but we want to convert this into a list with three tables. So what I can do is I can refer back to the previous step, which is a table, and let's just convert that to a list by referring to a single column. What is a list? List is nothing but table with just one column is a list. So in the previous step, I will just refer to a single column, which is the only column in that particular step, which is nothing but custom. And I'll close the bracket right here. This column has multiple tables that I want to combine. I'm just going to hit enter and all the columns get combined, and I can also see the new column that has been added. Now certainly I can maybe click on all the columns, go to the transform tab, detect data type to apply the data type. I'm just going to come to the home tab, say close and apply, and we are kind of good to go. And you can see that in the query the new column gets added, but let's just really test this out. So I'm going to go back to my Excel, and this time maybe on sheet number 2 I'll add a new column completely. So I will say that a category column and write category number 1 across all the rows here. I will save this Excel file, come back to my query right here, and I will right click and refresh, and I should expect to see a new category column being added here. So right click and refresh, and I get to see the new category column being added automatically. So that's another way of combining data from multiple Excel files and also dynamically adding columns just in case you want to have any columns being captured automatically. All right, so this solution is good enough, but there is a slight twist and a problem to this solution. What if you wanted to see the name of the sheet along with the data that gets combined from every single sheet? So if I maybe just click here, I don't have any column that is actually telling me the name of the sheet. Let's just go investigate our query as to see what's happening here. So if I just go and take a look at every single step of the query, I went to the source step, then I added a custom column to promote the headers, and then I removed all the columns. That means I actually got rid of the name of the sheet and I just kept this column. And since I just kept this particular column, that's the only column and that's the only column's data that I end up getting. Now we need to modify the query slightly to be able to get any of the previous columns in the previous steps along with the columns dynamically being expanded added to the entire data set that gets loaded into my Power Query. So what do? I end up deleting all these steps. I delete that, I delete that, and I delete that. Now the only step here is the data, and the tables are being promoted as headers right here, and we have the promoted headers table. Now what am I going to do is, first of all, I will create a new step here, which is where I will try to get all the possible headers there are in the three tables. So I'm going to create a new step here, and just like the way that I did it in the previous thing here, so I'm just going to use the same function table.combine, and I will say, hey, in the previous step, which is added custom, there is a column named custom, and the custom creates multiple tables that I want to combine. So that is going to become a list if I just select that particular column, and the list contains multiple tables. That's what I want. So I'm just going to write custom here and close the bracket, press enter. What I get is all the tables of this particular columns being combined together and shown up right here. This is good enough. Now I don't really want to combine the tables, because once I combine the table, the data opens up and I get to see the entire data, and I kind of lose the previous column, which is the name of the sheet column. So I really want to have just the name of the columns which are there captured in the three tables that I have here. So I will wrap this formula in a new function called table.columnNames, and that's about it. So I'm just going to say that, hey, why don't you combine all the data from the custom table and just get me the list of all the column names there are. That means give me date, give me sales rep, give me customer. Don't really open up the data for all the columns. I'm just going to commit to this formula and let's just see what we get. So I get to see all the possible columns there are when the tables get combined and open up. I just get to see the list. Let's just rename this particular list and let's just call this list as column names. All right, now I'm going to create another step and I create an FX step. Now, instead of referring back to the previous step, I will refer back to the added custom, because in the added custom, I have to expand these tables and alongside get the name as well. So I will not really refer to the column name steps. I will actually refer to the previous steps. So just added custom, press enter, and I get that entire step right here. Now what I'm going to do is I will actually take this column and take this particular column, right click and remove other columns, because these are the two columns that I really want to have. Now I will expand that manually. So I'll click on expand. I will uncheck the original column name prefix and I will say okay. Now once I expand that manually, all the names that are there in the tables get manually hard coded. That's not a good thing. We will automate that in just a while. But the good thing is that alongside all these columns, we now also have the name column that I really wanted to have alongside all the other columns. Now how do I solve this problem? So I'm saying that table.expand column, and I'm expanding the table in the previous column. So this is the table that I'm expanding. This table is there in the custom column. And I'm just writing the names of the columns manually. So instead of writing the names manually, I can just delete all the names which are there manually, and I can fetch that from this step that I just created a while ago. So I'm just gonna write column names here, close that bracket, press enter. It's just still going to give me the same result, but now instead of hard coding the names are being fetched by the formula right here. This is good to go. I can just click on the home tab, click on close and load, and now we have the same query being loaded once again. But let's just test out the results. Alongside we have the name of the sheet as well. So I'm just going to go back to the Excel. In the Excel now on sheet 1, I will add another column here. So let's just call this as another column, and I will throughout this column write my name for no good reason. And I will save this Excel file, come back here, and I will right click here and I will just do a refresh. Now I will have another column. In that another column, I will get to see my name, and my name is only going to be across sheet 1. And I have now also successfully got the name of the sheet, which was one of the previous columns in the previous step. So that was all about dynamically expanding columns, especially when you're trying to combine the data from multiple data sources. I give you a couple of approaches. Feel free to use any one of these approaches that suits your needs. And to close this video, a side note about my Power Query course. If you're trying to learn Power Query right from scratch, build up queries that can automate a bunch of your tasks in Excel and in Power BI, why don't you take a look at my course? It's going to be extremely beneficial. And of course, just like always, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comments and I'll be glad to reply. Thanks so much for watching this, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.